Brought to you by Refi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
Today's question comes from Kayla in Montana. I want a new car. My husband lives and breathes by Dave's rules, and he thinks we can't afford one. We're both 35 years old and together bring home $700,000. Our only debt we have is our $600,000 mortgage on our home and a $65,000 rental home. Our net worth is close to $1 million. We have 2 young daughters and plan to add to our family soon. So I want to save up and buy a new mid-sized SUV this year. My husband wants to purchase a used full-size SUV and keep it for a minimum of 7 years. Which one of us is correct? I don't understand my husband wants to purchase a used and keep it for a minimum of 7 years. Do you get it?
She wants to buy a brand new car.
Buy new. I hear.
And he wants to buy a used one and keep it.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So the problem here, Kayla, is not the car. And the problem here is not your husband following the Ramsey rules, because your husband's not following them. The Ramsey rules include working with your spouse and being on the same page with your spouse. And you, Kayla, have nothing to do with anything here. You just stand back and ask for stuff. And he decides if he's going to give it or not. That is not a Ramsey rule. Instead, you should be like a grown-up person, not a child wanting something from her daddy, and be one of the 2 votes on where this freaking $700,000 goes. That is what we teach. We don't teach what your husband is doing, nor what you are doing. And so you guys got to get talking about, okay, here's the future I want, and here's the steps it's going to take to get to the future.
Yeah, and how do we get there?
How does a car purchase fit in that future? But you sound like a 16-year-old having a hissy fit because your daddy won't buy you a car. And that's just ridiculous. That's not the position you should be in as the wife.
No, but she may feel, on the other end of the coin, frustrated if they're making
There's a serious amount of pouting in this email.
No, but if they make $700,000 a year,
they make plenty of money.
That's what I'm saying. And
she doesn't.
And she's like, "Hey, can we spend $50,000 on an SUV?" And he's like, "Nope." And she's like,
"Well, they're not."
Do you know what I'm saying?
But they're not. This is like, Daddy, we got the money.
No.
And Daddy's saying, no, we don't have the money. I follow Dave. Well, you don't follow Dave because you don't treat your wife like a 16-year-old child.
Yeah.
Your wife is a full-grown woman and stuff.
Okay, so what if they...
And so she needs to be involved in the discussion.
Okay, so if they're both...
The thing is positioned wrong.
Okay, that's the first... Okay.
That's my point.
Okay, so what if they're both adults?
And they're both talking about it.
And she's like, listen, we have plenty of money. We can do this. Our net worth
What we teach is, and what I lived with my wife who had a vote, and I had a vote, what you have lived with your husband who had a vote, and you had a vote, was that we don't buy a brand new vehicle because they go down in value, regardless of your income, until you have $1 million net worth. And you, darling, don't have $1 million net worth. And so, no, I would not buy a house. I would buy a 2-year-old SUV.
Yes.
And I don't think you have to keep it 7 years. I don't care how long you keep it, but you buy used cars and let someone else take the butt kicking on the depreciation. You don't spend money on things that go down in value like a rock while you're trying to get out of debt and build wealth, even if you have a $700,000 income.
Because they do have a $600,000 mortgage, right? So I'm like, there's
something wrong. Where the heck is all this money going?
Right.
I mean, my gosh. You ought to be able to write a check by that SUV and not even have this discussion.
And pay off the rental house.
Pay off the rental house and get your house paid off.
Right.
And live on $100,000 1 year.
Right.
What the flip are you people doing? I mean, there's money going out of here like you guys are in Congress. So, but the immaturity in this is just dripping.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the positioning of it is wrong. So you guys need to be like, we're both going to sit down. We're both going to say, okay, this is the principles we're going to use in our house. And based on those principles, we are going to make these decisions together. And that's not him dictating that to you or you dictating it to him. This is, we're going to decide where we're going. And if you want to follow the Ramsey rules, it would be, I don't know that Ramsey has rules. If you want to follow the processes that we teach that have caused people to build wealth, it is 2 grown-ups working together toward an agreed goal and the shortest possible distance between here and that goal. Two grown-ups. Now, they'll come at it from different angles. We can have discussions based on our different personality styles or different histories. We can have all kinds of discussions here, but it's never, I want a car and Dave Ramsey. My husband's a Dave Ramsey nut, and he won't buy me a car. And that's exactly the way this sounds.
I think you're offended that she.
No, I mean, it's just.
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
I'm not offended at all.
I know.
But
you're right. I think the frustration comes from when we've talked to so many married couples.
The positioning.
It reveals the state of the marriage and probably how it is. And you care more about their marriage in that sense. You as people need to become healthier. And these decisions coming out of that become way more peaceful and, more mature.
If you want me to get really tacky, I could start guessing how he makes $700 a year that causes him to be the daddy.
What?
I could do that, and I probably would be right, but I won't. That's tacky. So I think I know what he does for a living. And that
like a whole life guy or something?
No. He's in an industry where he's God, and he's used to being in charge.
Oh.
And he makes a ton of money.
He has power.
And he's used to telling people what to do all day long, and his wife is on the list of people he tells what to do. And so she's adopted the position of kid rather than wife. And that's where assuming he makes all the $700K, I got a feeling she doesn't make hardly any of the $700K, or she'd be raising up even heavier.
Yeah, I don't know.
If she made the $700K, we might not have got the email. Mm-hmm. So that in the way this thing's positioned, and this is the dynamic we're talking about. Why are we covering this, and why are we poking such holes in it? Is because in all the millionaires we've studied, the data is very clear. 80+% of them have a solid marriage relationship where the two of them are both aligned on the goals and the process to get there. Not,
and have equal.
The guy's not like, well, my wife won't give me any money. I work all day, but she treats him like he's 15 years old. He brings a check home and gives it to mama, and mama don't take care of him. And we don't hear that from the millionaires,
or the other end,
or the vice versa, which is this one.
Yeah, the dictator of the home. Yeah,
and that we don't. This model right here of relationship the data does not bode well for this model. Mm-hmm. It says you're not going to do well. I don't even care if you make $600K. You cannot out earn your stupidity. I've tried it. So that
and money is such a reflection, though. It's kind of what we were talking about with Lewis in the last segment. It's a reflection so much of who you are and your character and the health of you, right? And money either magnifies those healthy versions of you, or it magnifies the unhealthy, broken sides, which we all have both.
Including relationships.
Including the marriage. So him bringing in, or them, she says we bring home together $700,000, so I don't know who brings it home, but the idea that you're making a lot of money is magnifying through a car purchase some of those dysfunctional parts of the marriage. Yeah. And looking at that and becoming healthier in that fixes some of this. But
and I don't want that. I guess maybe I did rise up on this. I'm thinking about it emotionally. I don't want any of you using our name or the stuff we teach as a weapon in your house. And that's what's going on here. He lives and breathes by Dave's rules and thinks we can't afford one. So he's using, he's bad guying off of us. Like, well, Dave says you can't do that. Right? Instead of actually manning up and walking through the concept and getting agreement based on logic, instead you blame it on somebody off in the podcast land. And that's complete cowardice, So, quit using my name as a weapon. Pisses me off. This is the Ramsey Show.
That was in there.
Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey.